Hello there, welcome back to the channel. Just note the dove that I had to cover her because why? She gets a little bit out of control, especially when I'm reading cards or anything like that of the sort. So why am I on here? Well, I'm going to talk about the actor Tim Curry, okay? And let me put a disclaimer out there right at the get-go, all right? Everything that I speak about is an assumption, not facts, all alleged, of my opinions, and for entertainment purposes only. And I'm going to use cards that I think would work in his regard. I'm going to use my movie tarot cards. I'm going to use my Halloween spirit tarot cards, which are like fictional fantasy and all that kind of stuff. And I'm going to use a few others. Possibly my abandoned oracle and my real life tarot deck. I have many tarot cards, okay? But I wanted to pull out tarot cards that I think would work. Okay, first off, I'm going to light a white candle in his regard. Okay. Let's light a white candle for him. Alright, and I'm going to put it right here. And I'm going to light some incense to cleanse the space. And we also need to take a deep breath in and a breath out 3 times. Okay. Alright, I've got it going. Now, what you need to do is take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. We're going to do this 3 times, okay? Deep breath in. Breathe out. Breath in. Breathe out. Deep breath in. Breathe out. And I'm going to move this because, again, I don't want some freak accident. I definitely don't need that. So I'm going to put this in a secure place that I know won't nothing happen with it. Okay. I want to talk about some numbers. And I'm going to decode those numbers. I find this absolute whack. And how is it a coincidence? What am I going to talk about? Well, Tim Curry, his date of birth is 4/16/1946. That makes him an Aries. Okay, I do not know the rest of his birth chart unless I look this up. And he passed away on 8/25/2026. Okay? If you add up 8252026, that totals a 25. That's wicked crazy. Now, to figure out Tim Curry's tarot card of the year, he is the Hanged Man, a number 12. Alright, so what you do is you take the month and the day, which would be 4/16, you add those 2 up, that's a 20. You then take the 20 and add it to 2026. What's that total? That is 2046. Now add up those digits individually. What do you get? You get a number 12. That is the Hanged Man in tarot. What is the Hanged Man in tarot? The Hanged Man in tarot is lots of things. It's enlightenment. It's a sacrifice. It could possibly be a death. Alright, it's lots of things related to a hanged man. It's also Pisces energy. Okay, Pisces. We are people, if you didn't know it already, we're in eclipse season. And that eclipse moon will happen in the sign of Pisces. Is that a coincidence? Here's another thing. Dolly Parton that I did a read on, right? Her date of birth is 1/19/1946. She was 80 years old, as well as Tim Curry. You take the 1 plus the 19, that's a 20, people, and you add it to 2026. What do you get? 2046. Add those digits individually. Again, a number 12. Coincidence? Her tarot card of the year is also the Hanged Man. Wow. Okay, the last person, Hayden Patentier. I think that's how you say her name. Her date of birth, 8/21. Okay, you add that up. You add it to 2026. Again, you add all those digits up. It is the tarot card of the year, Hanged Man, a number 12. What? All three are Hanged Man. I kid you not. I kid you not. And here's another thing that I didn't say before. Okay? If you add up Dolly's date of death, you get a 25. If you add up Hayden, it's Panettiere, my bad. If you add up her date of death, which would have been 8/16/2026, you add up those digits, what do you get? You get a 25. So all three are a 25. Alright? Now, the day that Hayden Panettiere passed away was the same day as Elvis's death. Okay, Elvis's death was 8/16/1977. Right. Coincidence? I had to write this stuff down because I was like, it's got to be something here. It's got to be something. Now, about Tim Curry, because that's what I'm going to be talking about here. I had to throw my rant regarding these numbers. It was absolute whack that all three, their tarot card of the year is Hanged Man, a number 12. But not only that, each one of them add up to a 25. Okay? So, for Tim Curry, he was known for Rocky Picture Horror Show, the movie Legend. Yes, I'm old enough to remember that. He was known as Darkness in that movie. I absolutely loved it. It also had Tom Cruise in it. Okay? The movie Clue, he was Pennywise in it. The movie Annie, Scary Movie 2, Home Alone 2. Let me think. There's a lot of like cartoon character related like movies. I'm not going to go through all of that. I don't have time for all of that. But I'm going to focus on him. And I want to know like what he would have to say. I also want to know if any actors or actresses have anything to say about Tim Curry. Okay? So let's get it and let's talk about it. Alright. This is my fantasy deck here. This is Halloween Spirit Tarot cards here. I have Abandoned Tarot. I've got Movie Tarot here. So I'm trying to think what to use first. Okay, that's looking like a clown to me. That's absolutely crazy. All I did was pull it out of the box. This is my Abandoned Oracle here. Okay, and yes, that's giving Pennywise right there. Could that be Tim Curry? Uncertain, but let's go with it. Alright, Spirit, tell me more about Tim Curry. Any messages from Tim Curry or possible actors or actresses or really anyone that knew him. Okay, let's find out. Tears. That's a 22. Maybe something was activated or it started around the 22nd of August. Possibly. And what's underneath the 43? The Phantom here. I mean, I'm totally aware that Tim Curry had a lot of health issues. But let me find out something here. Like, did he have a stroke or... Hold on a second. Yeah, he had a stroke. He was 66 years old when he had that stroke. It says July 13th, 2012 that he had that stroke. Okay. Wow, these digits are one off from the age of 66. Look at that. There's a 12 right there and a 17. So that's 1 day off. These cards absolutely freak me out. And see, that's looking sort of like the character from the movie Legend that he played a role in. Look at that. I kid you not. You know, that movie Legend was before CGI, AI, graphic design, graphics, all of that sort of thing. They had to use legit props, okay, makeup and all of that. So he had a stroke when he was 66 years old. And if you add these up, that's a 65, and then you got a 12 here. It was July 13th, 2012. Okay, this is it right here. This is when his alleged health crisis began. Okay, and I see on the clock, I see 2011, 2012 on the, I'm sorry, 12/12, 12/11 on the clock, my bad. So that is very accurate right there. Very accurate as to when this happened. It's like he knew it. Maybe he knew that his career or something was over. This could be him, alleged. Okay? Let me get, let's get more information. Let's mix them up again. Okay? Tell me more, Spirit, regarding Tim Curry. More information? The Thief, a 33, and 43 again. Alright, Spirit. More information about Tim Curry. A 27 and a 16. He didn't want to be a burden to anyone. He didn't want to be a vegetable or something like that, or be on display in the shape that he was in. If that makes any sense. Do you see this? It says specimen here. Okay, something amplified in 2016. Okay, because see, he had that stroke in 2012, but there's something significant about the year 2016, and he just didn't want to be a burden to anyone or be on display for anyone. Maybe he felt he was going to get laughed at or treated some type of way due to his circumstances, alleged. That's crazy. And here's a 27. It says revenge. I'm trying to figure out this card. I mean, this is someone out to get you here. And they look like they have octopus arms. Yeah. I'm thinking it through. A 27 would be a 9. Did he have any enemies? Did he have any enemies? Something like that? This person could have been tattooed. There's another 7. They could have had tattoos on their body, and they were definitely in disguise. Wow, that's a 40. Yeah, someone was watching. That's crazy. Someone wore a false mask here. I'm unsure if he had any enemies or not, but he definitely didn't want to be on Spotlight or be a freak show or anything like that for anyone, but something was amplified in the year 2016. Yeah, that's crazy. Alright, let's get more information. Let's get the Spirit Halloween Tarot deck here. Alright, this is giving, even though this is Page of Cups, this is a satire here. And you can see the horn, so it's giving Aries energy. Alright, what's at the top of the deck? The Chariot? Yeah, he has passed and moved away, moved on. But I'm going to figure out some things here. Alright. Spirit, tell me more regarding Tim Curry. More information, Spirit, regarding Tim Curry here. I look at this like I said, my fantasy deck here. Five of Swords. He gave it his all. He gave it his all. Okay. And Three of Swords. He was in a lot of pain, people. He was in a lot of pain. Okay. Something was hurting him so bad. His whole body. He was in, day out pain. Okay, with his situation. Alright. Alright, Spirit. Tell me more regarding Tim Curry. Three of Pentacles. And another 5. 5 of Cups. Yeah. Because of his health and everything going on with him, he was very, very sad by that. He knew that his acting days were over with. Okay, he knew that he wasn't going to get any more phone calls, contracts, roles, anything of the sort. Okay, he knew that. He absolutely knew it. Okay, alright, Spirit, tell me more information. More info, Spirit, regarding Tim Curry. 3 5s. 3 5s is a confirmation. Okay, 3 5s and 4 cups. Wow. 5 of Wands here. Aries, Leo here. Yeah. This is definitely his energy. He was a bit upset about it too. He was upset with himself. He was upset with other people. See the horns here for Aries? Yeah. And 3 5s basically mean that you just want to be out of sight, out of mind, incognito. You just don't want to be seen. You rather just be invisible. Okay, but he was very upset with himself that he wasn't getting any calls or anything anymore regarding his acting career, something like that. He felt some type of way. He really did. He felt like it was over for him. You see the RIP tombstone right there? Yeah, he felt that it was just done with. Two of Swords, a ghost. Like, was he thinking about this allegedly? Is it alleged that he will come back as a ghost to haunt someone? My goodness, there's the Strength card. Dadgone. Alright, let's get more information. Let's use these this is movie tarot here. Let's find out if any actors, anyone have anything to say regarding him. There's Hanged Man right there when I split the deck. I can't make it up. Coincidence? I already told you about Tarot card of the year being a number 12, Hanged Man. Okay, this talks about being a sacrifice, enlightenment, having a divine moment, something like that. Let's find out here. Tell me more, Spirit. Two of Swords. More info about Tim Curry. High Priestess happening with that Pisces eclipse. What? Three of Cups. Another 3. Alright, tell me more, Spirit, regarding Tim Curry. There's King of Swords. Now, that's Tom Cruise right there. Yeah. So, he worked with Tom Cruise in that movie Legend. King of Swords is someone of power and authority. They give orders. They're rather cold. They don't really listen to anyone. It's their way or the highway. And I wonder how close he was with the Tom Cruise here. It was something lost basically after he had his stroke, and it was just ripped from him, or this role, this King of Swords role was just taken from him. That power, it's like his power was removed. I'm going to look that up about that. Tom Cruise there. Give me a minute. I'm Googling this now, people. It says here that they were not close friends. Okay, other than the fantasy movie called Legend that was made in 1985. It says here that Curry didn't fully understand Tom Cruise, but he was blown away by his talent. They didn't have any issues or conflicts that I see. It says here online that in October, it was October 20th, 2025, Tim Curry admits he did dread working with co-star Tom Cruise, and he didn't hold back when voicing about him, but he did note that he was blown away by his talent, though. Okay, yeah. See, Tim Curry in that movie, Legend, he was known as Darkness. Okay, the Lord of Darkness. But what I'm getting here, looking at this card, I'm getting that Tim Curry's power or authority was wait for it to come back. There it is. I don't know what was happening with the camera. It just had like a freeze. It had a freeze at around 25 minutes and 25 seconds. You know, that number is coming up a little bit too much. Okay, that's when it happened on the screen. I kid you not. At 25:25. And I paused as, you know, I was talking, then I paused because I was watching the screen. But why did it do what it did at 25 minutes and 25 seconds? Maybe that's a confirmation as to what I'm saying. That something was stripped away from Tim Curry regarding his power and authority with this King of Swords. Okay, let's get a bit more info. Tell me more, Spirit, about Tim Curry. More information, Spirit. It's going to be something about his property, the things that he owns, his estate, all of that, his home, primarily his home. That's Aries energy right there, okay? Tell me more, Spirit. I do not know anything about his finances or anything of the sort. Ace of Swords. Oh, it's a lot of truth that's going to come out. That is the actor Brad Pitt. A lot of truth and clarity is going to come out of the closet. There's a lot of wealth here. A huge amount of wealth. Okay, yeah, lots and lots of wealth. Daggone. Alright, Spirit, tell me more. But it's something about his home and his money and all of that. Yeah. Six of Wands, more fire energy, Ace of Cups, and Justice. What? Okay. The Hermit, Meryl Streep. There's something about his mother and father here. Maybe they were role models, maybe they were something, but it's mother and father here. Okay, I don't know if he looked up to Clint Eastwood or not. And Six of Wands. Let me find that out. I'm very curious about Clint Eastwood there. There's no public record that Tim Curry met Clint Eastwood, okay? I'm reading. Yeah, I don't see anything. But what this is actually giving is mother and father here. Yeah, I'm thinking it through. I know, this is Clint Eastwood. His famous line was, "Make my day," absolutely. Okay? Maybe he watched his movies. Maybe he learned a thing or two about Clint Eastwood and how to act. But he didn't actually meet Clint Eastwood. He could have been a fan of Clint Eastwood. Okay, he absolutely, from what I'm gathering, he loved Clint Eastwood and Clint Eastwood's style and how he performed in movies and everything. He absolutely loved that. But this is also mother and father here. There's something significant about that. Basically, alleged Tim Curry learned a thing or two from how Clint Eastwood would act or do roles, and he used it to the best of his ability here, and he was successful with that, with his movie roles and everything. You know? Strong possibility. I'm going to get a few more. Alright, Spirit, tell me some more about Tim Curry. More information. More information, Spirit. The moon. David Bowie there in the movie Labyrinth. Alright, that's the lovers from Brokeback Mountain. Okay. Two of Swords again. Now, I've seen this card like 3 times already. Something significant about that. Alright. Spirit, tell me more regarding Tim Curry. Temperance. He's an angel now. 9 of Wands. Look at this. Morgan Freeman. This is Archangel Gabriel. This is an angel. Okay, a fallen angel. Okay, well. So, did Tim Curry actually earn his wings? I do have Spirit, and I do believe he is here. Seeing the Temperance card here. And Morgan Freeman. The Shawshank Redemption. Excellent movie. I wonder if he had a connection with Morgan Freeman. Let me find out. It says there's no public record. That they met in real life. Yeah, I don't see anything. So this is telling me that this is Spirit here. This is an angel. Okay? And it's possible that Tim Curry has earned his wings. And I have 9 of Wands here. More fire energy because he was Aries. He worried a lot. He absolutely worried a lot about something. I'm unsure, alleged, if he had PTSD or he had something going on. But this is also waving your white flag here. You know, like, you know, I'm done. I'm not going to do anymore. I'm not going to fight this fight. I'm over it, basically, with this 9 of Wands here. 4 of Wands, more fire. Look at this. When you add these up, that's what, a 13? Yeah, 13. Yeah, and, you know, he had that stroke July 13th, 2012. There's something significant here about that 13 as well. But there's definitely something significant about his wealth and property here. His home. I don't know what his net worth is. It makes me want to look at that. Let me find out real quick. It said that it's on Google that he was estimated to be worth $8 million. A 5-decade career of everything. $8 million net worth. Los Angeles. He was a British actor. Mediterranean style home. Give me a minute, people. I'm looking it up. Yeah, the net worth says $8 million. I'm reading here that Tim Curry was never married. And he didn't have any kids either. So what's going on with that? So what's going to become of his home and all of it? There's something significant about his money, is what I'm gathering. Something very significant about his money and his net worth here. Like, what's going on with that? That's a real good question. So if he didn't have any kids and no spouse, nothing like that, then what? What's going to become of all of that? You have to wonder, right? He could possibly, allegedly, come back as a ghost, but I do get here that he is an angel with wings. Oh my goodness. Okay. Let's get a few more cards here. And I'll roll some dice. Tell me more, Spirit. More information. He was in a lot of pain. He allegedly here could have been medicated in some way, given stuff to relax him, make him comfortable. Towards the end, the zombie, he felt some type of way. He wasn't himself. He just wasn't himself here. There's the zombie card. There's the magician. Alright, Spirit. Tell me more. Pinocchio. Conspiracy theorist. The troll. You know, Pinocchio is about, you're telling a lie and that nose is getting bigger and bigger, right? He was very ill, y'all. He was very, very ill. And see that little Cupid there with the wings? Like he was extremely ill. And here's the conspiracy theorist. Is his death going to be a conspiracy to someone or many? Or is the possibility here that his death is a lie, or it's something, it's a conspiracy or something like that? My gosh. I feel I need to get one more. Alright, Spirit, tell me more. You know, no kids, no spouse, $8 million net worth. Okay, where is it going? Something about his home and everything. A pin cushion here. Yeah, he hurt all over. His entire body. It is something affecting his entire body. Anxiety. That's a lot of stress, a lot of worry. Alleged possible PTSD, something. Waving your white flag. Nausea. Yeah, he was very sick, y'all. Look at this. I can't make this up, what's coming out of these cards. He was very, very ill. Alleged. I must say that. Okay, I'm going to see if anything comes out. Alright, Spirit, tell me more. Looks like a pet bed or something. You know, on these little pet beds. There's the word mom. Heartbroken by mom. A three-headed individual. And a ghost. Look at this. He's going to come back as a ghost, y'all. He's going to come back as a ghost. He may come back to haunt you. Alleged. That's crazy. It's something about a pet bed. I do not know if Tim Curry had any animals or anything, like cats or dogs, but it's something significant about a pet. And this three-headed thing right here is a beast. Alright. But since this is in the dead center, this ghost card here, I'm gathering this man could possibly come back to haunt you. For some reason. Like he's not settled with the fact that he has passed away. Like he kind of wants to remain or come back to, it's almost like maybe come back to seek revenge. That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. Daggone. And I do not know of his mom or his dad, but it's something here related about his mother. Maybe he was heartbroken of the passing of his mom or something. That's crazy. Alright, let me get some dice here and we'll finish this up. Alright, that's a 16. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Alright, August 21st was when Dolly went into the hospital, and days later, there you go. So there's something significant about August 21st here. Okay, let's do it again. There's three snake eyes right there, three heads, something. And what it's giving is the three-headed beast or something. But also 111 is an angel number of new beginnings or manifestations. Okay, so we got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's over. His career and everything just changed his life completely after the stroke. Okay, let's do it again. I have angel number 222, and then there's 5 and a 1. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Bingo. Hanged Man. Hanged Man. Whoops, let me put that back on 1. Hanged Man here. I could wrap it up just like that. I mentioned that his tarot card of the year was a 12. And there it is. Allegedly, could his death be a conspiracy? I got the ghost like 2 or 3 times. He could come back as a ghost to haunt someone or revenge. But we have here angel number 222. I want to know what that means. Give me a second. Let's find out. Alright, it says, balance, harmony, trust the divine timing. Trust the divine timing. Let go. You're trying to do everything alone. Trust the process. It could have been too that he was manifesting something, allegedly. Okay? But these last numbers here is a 12. And again, that would be Hanged Man for Tim Curry. But as I mentioned at the get-go of this read, it was Tim Curry, Dolly Parton, and Hayden Panettiere. All of them had the number 12, Hanged Man, for their tarot card. Okay? And the date that they died, all of those digits add up to a 25. Coincidence? But that's what I have regarding Tim Curry. May he rest in peace. And yeah, I got a strong possibility that this man is going to come back as a ghost or something like that. I do not know the rhyme or the reason for that. It's got me perplexed. So that could be what it is. Again, I hope you all like this video. Remember to like and subscribe. Give me the thumbs up. Leave me a comment. Maybe you met Tim Curry or something like that. Or were you a Tim Curry fan? I absolutely like the man, so I didn't have an issue with him. He's a great actor. So, but anywho, you all have a great day and peace out.